Welcome to the inn at the end. While our recently repaired runes have done the trick, keeping those meddling mages from altering our temporal placement, the damned rats have gotten in the walls and ruined the work, allowing the ambient chaos magic to interrupt our regularly scheduled broadcast. But why don't you grab a seat? I hear our very own Dash here to explain his bespoke TTRPG setting and rulebook. Head on over and I'll grab you a drink.
It'll mostly be just like a roundtable discussion, and I'll throw out some ideas that I've had, and then we can talk about them. And if you guys are like, this is terrible, then I'll throw my laptop in the trash.
Okay. Dang.
I'll take it.
I really want to like this.
Any criticism. I'm just like,
I gotta be honest,
so
but like, I hope I like it.
Every time we say something, he's like holding it. We're like,
no,
trying to talk him down.
It's really
No,
good
it just
mechanics.
needs to be changed. It's fine. It's like, it's not bad. It's just
most
not.
Dad, put the gun
down.
If we tweak it a little, it'll be.
Yeah, sure. All right, let's get into it. Welcome to the Inn at the End, internet's #1 Daggerheart D&D, and maybe a secret third game. Actual play podcast. I'm your host for this episode. It's a special episode. My name is Dash Thompson, and with me is
Caleb.
Rhett.
Alex.
That's right. And today we'll be diving into and messing with a game I've been working on making, my own tabletop game. If it's good, who knows? I've really been making it in a vacuum, so probably not. But that's what we'll discuss and find out. And also just talk about RPGs in general. Anyways, let the adventure begin.
Now, is this the Cones of Dunshire, or what is this game called?
No, this is the claymation stage. Pre-Dunshire.
Yeah. So I don't really have like a name for it yet. I mean, I've bounced some ideas around. But, you know, like the name of the game is like so hard to like really come down on and be like, because you want it to really, you know, explain everything.
Yeah.
Because by the end of making it, you know, the perfect name might be out there, and you just don't know what it is yet.
GutSTABBER.
Yeah.
GutSTABBER. Yeah.
Daggerheart.
Well, I didn't even think about Daggerheart, but
Right.
there's already kind of a little bit of a thing there with that connection.
I mean, that's easy. Weapon, body part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
Axefoot.
Axefoot is a little not as good as GutSTABBER.
GutSTABBER's good. I thought
Mace
about
face. It's not bad.
I thought about swords and whores. That could be fun.
Oh,
That could elicit.
Okay, well.
Okay, well.
We don't like it.
Go ahead and throw
It
the
just feels
horse.
like maybe there's two classes.
Guys,
You know? There
Ah,
should be a spectrum of classes.
you know, there's more than two. Kind of my. I mean, there's obviously like a lot of like inspirations when you're thinking about RPGs, like things you like from different things. Like I took ideas from like the new game Draw Steel, where they were like, there's no like to hit kind of thing, and I was like, okay, you just are rolling damage. I was like, I like that. That's cool. I'll take that. And a lot of the Daggerheart kind of like role play aspects I think is really cool. I even took a thing from Burning Wheel that I really loved about their character creation for like backgrounds. And a lot of what I did with this was just everything was gonna be like every time I was trying to make a whole armor thing, and then I went, this is getting way too way too much, and then I trashed it and went, nope, we're gonna make it way simpler. But I guess I can get into like, I don't know, kind of like the first beginnings of like making a character, if that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that should tell us a lot about.
Yeah, so one of the first things I thought of, and this is I took straight from Burning Wheel, was in that game when you make a character, you pick life paths, and so they have a shit tons of lists of different life paths, and you pick like a born option, and then you pick several other life paths, and that kind of creates your starting kind of resources and stuff. And I kind of shrunk all that down to basically you pick a born background and a raised. So where you were born and then where you were raised.
Cool.
and each of those options will come with let's see if I can remember this. You're starting like social circle, and you're starting resources, and those are just things that you'll roll for. Like, do I know someone in this town? And like when it comes to money and things that you own,
Gotcha.
You'll use that number to help roll like your 3d6 to get that thing.
Okay.
And then, like for example, like you could be born noble court, but you were raised hermit. Right? So, like, your resources are +1 at noble court because you had stuff, but then you went somewhere, and then it's, like, minus something.
Okay.
Like Danny Rand.
or Buddha.
Oh, yeah. It was Buddha. No, I don't know.
What do I win?
Yeah.
What's his real name?
This game is easy.
What's his real name?
Siddhartha.
Gautama, yeah.
Yeah. I almost said Guantanamo.
Little off.
Yeah.
Little
The
off.
news has been really...
I just lost the game. No.
Yeah, so that's kind of the beginning thing, and then you'll pick like an ancestry, and all these ancestries I kind of made myself. They're just kind of like variations of humanoids.
Like you made them?
I created them
In your lab with
Yes.
lightning and
with
sheer
animals,
determination.
like God intended.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
how we make chimeras.
I prayed, and a sheep came out of the thorns, and I did what I had to do.
That's a good name for it, though. I prayed and a sheep came out of the thorns.
I prayed, and a
That's
sheep came out of
good.
the thorns. That is a good name. So yeah, and that like starting thing that kind of resolves like you're kind of starting some of your starting attributes.
Okay.
Plus your like your money and stuff like that, because I don't know, I never really liked the idea of trying to keep track of gold.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just easier if
Yeah.
it's like you roll to see if you can buy this thing, and if it's super expensive, the difficulty is just impossible. But if it's
No, I like that. I like that a
reasonable,
lot.
it's super low, and
That's
you get like a
interesting,
1 to your
yeah.
resource. You can probably buy that.
Speaking of attributes, how many are we working with here?
So I boiled it down to 3 body ones, and then there's a fourth one that I'm calling resolve, which is you can slowly get resolve as you progress, and the 3
I
main
like
ones are body, mental, and perception, and they kind of will embody all of the things you could possibly roll for.
Mm-hmm.
And your starting will be a 0, a 1, and a 2, and you can put that
Solid.
wherever you want. And then the resolve is like, let's say, role play wise or theater of the mind wise, you're like, oh, I want to do this thing, or I'm making some big action. Can I add my resolve, my determination, whatever, to this? And then as me, the DM, whatever, can be like, yeah, that sounds like it's a really important thing, so you can add more resolve to that. And then it kind of boosts your ability to do that,
Okay.
which I think gives a little extra like storytelling flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
Mm-hmm.
I'm keeping all the numbers small.
Yeah.
And then after that, I really just like pick classes, because I just again everything's like really stripped down. I'm not trying to, because like I talked to Alex a lot about this, and again there was too many times where I was like, oh, I'm gonna get like so detailed, and then I was like, I'm one guy, and they have teams of people design this stuff. I go, let's not do that. Yeah. So, and then the combat wise is 3d6, but I've said to some people it works a little bit differently than like rolling them and adding it up for a total number. And this is kind of like the stuff that I get most excited about is in combat, you'll roll 3d6, and 2 of the dice will represent the damage you do, and 1 will represent the damage you reduce on incoming attacks.
Oh, so it's like okay.
And you like make those choices. Like you
You
choose
make that
these
decision after the
ones.
roll.
Oh,
I like
so
that.
so depending on
You have a
where
dice
you feel
pool.
the threat level is, you
Yeah.
might put more stress more
I
on.
re-
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe you
I like that.
maybe you opt to do less damage or whatever because you think you're about to take a big hit, or you
Right,
took a big
right.
hit, you want to reduce it more. So you
Yeah.
spend your 6 blocking
I
damage.
really
but
like
you
that because it's in true combat, you're constantly
adapting.
deciding between
Mhm.
do
Right.
I want to take more risk and be more offensive
Mhm.
or steal myself?
And every class I have baked into, not specifically the subclasses, but the class each has a defensive maneuver they can utilize too.
Nice.
So, for example, can I read one to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, this one makes me laugh though.
Is it the Ragman?
Yeah. Well, it's the Nomad class. So the Nomad class, and the idea behind the Ragman is you're basically like some kind of folk hero. Like you're whispered about in towns and villages. You're just this weirdo, eccentric guy. That
You leave a
people
little
know
rag
about.
Paul
under your pillow for
Bunyan,
the rag.
Yeah. And I really like the idea that you can decide what Ragman means. You know. Okay. So. The defensive maneuver for the Nomad class is called sand, dirt, rocks.
Yes.
A little Dale Gribble.
Pocket
Yeah,
sand.
pocket sand.
100%. So when you roll a 1 for your defense, so basically when you roll it and you decide to use a 1 for your defense, you can trigger this feature. Your constant travel means you always have a pocket full of sand, dirt, or rocks. You throw this in your enemy's eyes, blinding them and reducing incoming damage by half.
That's cool.
Yeah, see, this is what I think this is what I really like about that initial idea, 3d6,
Right.
2 are damage, 1 is defense, is you can do really fun stuff like that.
Really cool
that's
stuff.
really
that
cool.
Gets triggered by, and then it's like, also with, the key features like the offensive maneuvers also can get triggered by certain things. So that's basically really most of. I've mostly explained how the game would work. There's another feature I was toying around with, this like idea of like a stamina strain thing, where like you can use it to make extra attacks, so you can reduce your like stamina by like 1 or however much. I still haven't quite figured that out, but the idea is like, strain would be for the magic classes, staminas for all the other classes. And you can, again, choose to reduce that stamina to make extra moves and attacks. But when you overdo it, when it goes over, like the idea I was toying around with was like, for martial classes, now all your damage is reduced by half. Now that you've gone beyond your stamina.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You
and
become
then,
less effective overall, kind of.
Right, and that's what I was thinking. So it's like a resource you would like to utilize, but not overutilize, and only do it in really dire moments when you're like, I'm going to go over my stamina to make an extra attack because I really got to get this guy down,
Yeah.
And then obviously there would be like consequence to that, but yeah. So
Cool.
Could be kind of an interesting mechanic. It's like if the more that you use that pool, like the stronger it kind of becomes, right up until you overuse it, when then it just becomes a huge inhibitor.
Oh yeah. Like you've got to this does
Flirt with that line.
+1, +2, +3.
Yeah.
0.
Yeah.
Because
kind
that
of
way it
thing.
encourages you to use it and like to get to the end. But then if you slip, like
That's something with the rules that you've talked about and shown me, like the feeling I get from it is kind of this gambler's dilemma, this like risk and reward and push and all kind of like right in front of you.
yeah.
Versus a lot of like standard D&D, that to hit and then the damage, it's like that's ahead of you. Like you're making decisions in D&D sometimes to like do things that you don't know about for like steps down the road.
Right.
With this, you're making all those decisions kind of like right there in the moment, which is
real
neat,
fighting works.
really fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that because I've been in real fights. I've been in real.
Yeah.
We
I'm a
know.
tough guy. Yeah.
You were the resident tough guy.
I fight people.
You fuck.
That's why none of us ask you
I'm
for
built
anything
for fighting
ever.
and fucking.
Oh.
Fighting. That's the name.
Fighting and fucking.
From fighting to fucking.
See, we found it.
I knew we could do this. Proud of
yeah.
us.
So, yeah, and
Screw D&D. Let's play some F&F.
fighting and fucking.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the game, buddies.
This ain't a tabletop role playing game. This is
Yeah.
a bed sheet
Yeah.
role
Yeah.
playing game.
There's
You
a
know?
bell that rings every 5 minutes and you switch between the two.
Oh, 5 minutes.
I've got some working out to do. Funny, I had no idea that the shirt was backwards until he turned around and walked away.
I don't think I realized either. And it's our shirt, you know.
All right, back to fighting and fucking.
Yeah, so that's pretty much everything. I mean, there's still a lot of stuff that I haven't totally nailed down. Yeah?
Teacher,
Oh.
magic. How does that work in this? system?
That's also something that I'm still kind of thinking about.
Okay.
So, I know, like, one magic class I know definitely what I really want them to be about, and that is the Haxan.
Ooh, yeah. Tell me about them.
Yeah, okay. So so in this world, there is, like, lore to this. Mm-hmm. It's not just, like,
It does feel
Yeah, I
kind
wanna
of
know the
like
vibe.
a bespoke
What's the lore?
system
So,
to a setting.
Okay, so in this world, everyone who basically, like, from childhood, as soon as they figure out that you can see, like, the fabrics of creation in the world, you're sent to this school, which a lot of people also kind of say is like a prison. It's
These
called
are
the,
magic people.
huh?
Magic people.
Yeah,
Okay,
but anyone who has this kind of, like, sight,
The
basically.
Jedi.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. And it's called the Incantessera, and it's like you go there and you're there for a long time, basically, and you're taught how to use the magic, because the magic is basically the words of the gods, who are all dead, by the way. Gods
Solid.
are dead. But that is the magic of the world, and there's a class that they go through the Incantessera, they learn how to do this, and then they're kind of like shipped off to get jobs and to do that kind of stuff.
It's a trade
And-
school.
Oh,
Yeah.
like in The Witcher. or
Yeah,
like,
yeah, a little bit, yeah. And so they get, like, a formal education on it. And then Haxan is what they label anyone who didn't complete that training or dropped out or fled.
Oh, the cool people.
The cool
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
yeah, the Haxan. And so,
The cool
and
people
they're-
that don't have day jobs and need to go.
The ones I would want to sit with in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's also the lore in this world of, like, a lot of kingdoms will, you know, secretly, not so secretly, employ Haxan because they can deal in magic that's a little more, like,
Shady.
dicey. Like this kind of engraving on bodies. Which kind of bleeds into another class called the Oathbound, which, funny, I wanted to call Oath Keepers, and then I realized was a right-wing fanatical group, and I went,
Let's take it back. Let's
Nope.
take it back.
I don't know if this is
There's
where
not
we
a lot
plant
of
our flag.
tenacity behind that one.
so,
There's this other class called the 3%ers.
oh, jeez. So,
What
That's my new Warhammer 40K orc army. It's the Proud Boys, but with a Z.
BOI.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna play my D&D people the
Yep.
Palor prayer. No, I was working on Patriot prayer.
Oh,
but
Patriot Prayer.
couldn't
Oh,
get there
yeah.
fast enough.
Yeah.
Couldn't get there fast enough.
Or
Yeah,
what's
Baylor
that?
Prayer.
Patriot Front.
Patriot Front, Patriot
Yeah.
prayer. Yeah.
Those guys. are
3%ers.
goofballs. But anyway,
Oh, yeah. So to put it maybe into, like, D&D context, like, adepts are wizards, Haxans are sorcerers. That's kind of how to think about it. But I don't want it to work exactly like that.
Yeah.
right.
And then they've got their unique flavor to them already for sure. Like reading through the lore of what you sent over was
So, the Haxan, one of the subclasses is called Vessel of Hate, and basically what you've done is you've made contact with a Valorn, and Valorn are like pieces of the gods that broke off when they were killed, and they've become their own thing, and they're kind of wild and unstable.
That's,
and
like,
you
totally-
can be a Valorn in this.
Oh, so they're alive. They're not just like
yeah, they're
inanimate?
beings with like
Oh.
varying degrees of power.
I
And
was gonna say that's kind of like Elder Scrolls almost, but not quite.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I've was inspired
great.
by.
It's
got some Dune inspirations to it. Some
I'm
great
just gonna
try to
sandworms.
connect-
I'm
kinda
gonna call it
thing.
out every time I hear something.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's like this thing.
well, I was thinking of
That's
like
the disease you
Lovecraftian
have.
stuff, like how Haster is like a is also Nyarlathotep, and
Oh yeah.
they're all like
Oh yeah.
some are fragments of one or representations of one. and-
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, so that subclass is basically like you've made contact with some creature from, and the other side basically the what?
I didn't mean to interrupt, but one of the things that was interesting to me, and now that we're talking about these things, like why are the gods dead?
Right, and that's like something that a lot of
Okay.
people don't really know.
Yeah. Okay.
Some people don't think they are. They still worship them.
Oh.
But the gods were, there's certain ancestries that people say were created by this god, they were created by this god. And there's a lot of people who think that the afterlife is one thing, but it's actually something completely different. It's not what they think it is, and there's a name for it. They're called the offering lands. That's the afterlife, basically. And the Valorn rule it pretty much. It's not purgatory. It's not heaven. It's not hell. It's some god-awful mix of all of it, basically.
Hell yeah.
A lot of Dark Souls vibes.
Oh yeah.
I was really
For
inspired
sure.
The
by it.
lands between, yeah.
Right, yeah. And so, yeah, this subclass made a deal with a Valorn, and so their key feature is possessed in battle. They basically allow this thing to possess them from the offering lands, and then they're
fuck
empowered
yeah.
with it.
That's sick.
And
You can be the ragman. I want to be that one.
and I
Work through me.
taste my sand.
sand. And the other one that I thought of, and I actually have an idea for mechanically how their feature would work, is the formless one. And this is where the Haxan has become so entangled with the magic of the world that their ability is they can kind of just dissipate into energy around the battlefield, and you roll 3d6. And if any one of those numbers are rolled by any enemy, it basically magic erupts around them for damage.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
So that was a feature that I thought of that might be kind of cool or interesting.
That sounds cool.
So you kind of become like almost like a turret on the battlefield, right? And
waiting for the opportunity. Just
and then it's like they go to, and then suddenly magic just whips out.
That's so.
and,
I
And
love
theoretically,
that. I
like
love
the
that
more
idea.
enemies, the more chances too.
and then the more enemies, more chances. And there's other ways to mess with that, but yeah. And do you guys want to hear what all the classes are?
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
give
You
us.
kidding me?
Okay, and do you want to hear their subclasses too, or just give the overview?
Let's hear like the bullet points of the classes first, and then we can.
Okay,
like,
Okay, so the veteran sellsword, or I thought about naming the grizzled sellsword. Basically, you've seen tons of battles, skirmishes, death. You fought for lords, queens, all manner of nobility. Like, now you're doing your own thing. So, like, you've been there, done that. And you're scarred up, you're beaten. And I'll give you their two quick... and I actually want to ask you guys' opinion on this. So, the one I mentioned, is the Bloodletter. And that's going to be like a 2-weapon wielding... You go in, you're all offense. And then the other one I thought of was either Iron Gauntlet or Iron Fist. Like
a monk or what?
No, meaning like you are all tactics and you're like a hard ass leader.
Not to oversimplify, but like the first one you described is more barbarian-esque, whereas this one is more paladin-esque.
Yeah, a little more like fighter tactician.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little bit more like a.
Commander.
Yeah, what do they call that in the D&D? You know that subclass?
Subclass for
Fighter.
Battle Master?
Battle Master.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely the vibes of that for sure.
Okay.
And then my other kind of more paladin-ish is the Oathbound. You're basically like a knight or warrior who's taken some very special oath, and your two classes are either Knight of the Valiant or the Morning Star. And the Morning Star is a special kind of knight. There's not a lot of you ever. Basically, through some means, a Haxan has inscribed magic onto your body, meaning you can empower your physical self in battle.
Yes.
And it's dangerous and it's wild, but it's like you're like the badass when you come to the battlefield. Everyone knows like, oh shit, they have a Morning Star.
When,
Like
Oh,
if they
yeah.
when
show
you
up on a
said-
battlefield.
When you say wild, does that mean like chaotic? Like
You mean
what
like
do you envision?
uncontrollable?
Yeah,
Or do you
like-
mean like
Possibly.
Fae?
Like you roll on a table? Like,
Yeah, possibly. I still don't. Again, a lot of these I don't have specific mechanics for. Like I know what I want them to do, but I haven't quite like tweaked that. But yeah, maybe wild is like a little chaotic. I just know that between these two, like they're similar in that either your oath has been branded and etched into your body, or it's been branded and etched into your weapon, which is the Knight of the Valiant.
Okay.
And
Hell
they
yeah,
get
hell
and
yeah.
they get special weapons that are kind of like, lightsabers essentially. It's like super powered weapons. And then Haxan, I described them, and then Adept, which is like this one I feel the least excited about. They're like the magic user that's been through the school, and I have Arcanist and Seer. I just was like, I want to put something down for this. I don't have anything. Really.
Is it because that type of character doesn't excite you, or you're just not excited with kind of?
I think he's just
where you're at with
a little bit, and he's still workshopping it.
I'm still workshopping
Okay.
it because I do think this could be a fun, cool class.
Okay.
I do have a mechanic that would be for that I've been like thinking
Yeah.
about since talking.
Yeah.
Is like a spell user, somebody who uses spells, something like a spell book.
Yeah.
And in essence, what it is it's like a table, and you can like take the numbers you roll, and it's like if you have a 1 and a 6, that's a spell. If you have a 2 and a 3, that's a spell.
Yeah.
And like I'm not sure how you
Yes.
would do it, but like you've got that spell list, and like maybe like you could play around a lot with that. So it's more like you're looking for specific numbers and combinations,
Right.
not high or low.
Yeah.
And it may mean like you'll burn a 6 because it gives you the spell you want, even though like it doesn't. You might want to use it for
Right.
defense or attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what I've been
and
stewing on is that spell book with those 3d6.
That's a really cool. I like that idea.
Because you get a lot of complexity with, like you're saying, like very pared down. Like,
Yeah, and I think that honestly that's great. I'm probably just gonna do that.
yeah, run with that.
Yeah, there we go.
Because it gives you that vibe of a spell book, but
Right.
with the same mechanics of the paladin fighter and all that.
Well, and it'd be kind of interesting, like if you're rolling all 3 dice, right? If you could almost like choose, so it's like you were like, a 2 or a 6, or a 6 and a 2,
For sure,
Like,
sure.
and you could kind of pick and choose. Or if you do all 3 dice, it's like almost more like a, like a little bit of arithmetic magic or whatever. But
Yeah.
you find the combination that does the thing that you
Yeah.
want it to do.
Yeah.
But you're kind of limited in that.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
like
3
that.
might be too much, but 2 might be too little. I don't know.
It feels very much in the hands of fate,
Right? Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you also get some say in
Choices.
it.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that. But
You have your like multiplication chart out, and you're like, shit. Okay.
I know. I am
Fate
thinking now,
is
like, what if you
limiting
had
me
like
to
a,
these-
some sort of like circle with like magic, and it's like you're putting in numbers along, but it's almost like a slot machine. So
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
if you hit like 111 here, that's like a thing, and then like if this is like
Yeah.
could be
you
kind of
could- you could do like a ritual circle, and like you fill it in as you're like going through the
Yeah.
battle.
I like
almost.
the idea of like a circle or whatever.
And then you have to do math at the end of it to be like, what happens when all of this magic piles up and like comes out?
Yeah.
that is cool.
There's something fun there.
That gives me a lot of interesting ways to think about it that I hadn't before.
Yeah.
So that's awesome, and I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you like leaning into this idea of like the dice pool at all times is like really cool. I don't see a lot of games doing that all the time. So
Yeah, and I just like the flexibility of it, you
Yeah.
know, and just the fun of like trying to figure out like, and the choice in the moment of like, oh, but if I do like use a 1 for this, I get to use my cool thing,
Right.
you know, and it's like I won't do as much damage, but I get to do the cool feature,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. And then Nomad, which is just a wanderer, explorer, wild one. Yeah, I kind of explained the Ragman, and then the other subclass I have is like Silver Tongue.
hot.
And then I like this one, the Huntsman. This is kind of me trying to do rogue bard thing,
Okay,
or
yeah,
not
yeah.
ranger bard, because like I feel like rangers always are not fun, you know, like in
What?
D&D. I don't know, they just never, especially in the new one, rangers don't seem that exciting. But I don't know. Anyways, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, it's because of the way everybody plays Dungeons and Dragons. Because you have a lot of cool abilities that are useful. Like if you have a map that you're navigating with
Sure.
the players and stuff. Like
I mean, yeah, we've talked about this before. My take
Yeah.
is always like the things the Rangers have, give them all of the tools they need to not play the part of the game they want to play.
yeah,
It's like I can skip over all of this stuff that my character's really good at. Oh wait, that's what I wanted to go do and have fun with.
Yeah.
Like I want to go have like fun adventures in the forest, but if you
Yeah.
can just bypass the forest because you have the forest pass.
exactly. Well, and I think my perception of it gets a little muddled too, because the first time I played Ranger in 5e was my buddy put together a grid map, and I got to be the team leader and like decide where we go, and like, oh, our movement speed is good, and like, oh nope, I can't lose
were
my
the
sense
hero.
of direction, and like, so I led us like right to where we needed to go, and like that felt, I bypassed monsters, I did all this. When we did get attacked by a monster, I could identify it and trap it and help the team kill it really fast. It was fun.
Yeah, so the huntsman, he just is someone who's spent his life in the wilderness. He just kind of, like a ranger, he just knows what he does out there in the wild. The two subclasses I have for it is Warden of the Wild and then Steward of the Fang. And I know what I want them each to do. The one mechanic I thought of for Steward of the Fang might be a little ridiculous, but the idea is that this guy is always has somewhere way off. There's maybe they're ethereal, maybe it's just actually them, but there's a small pack of wolves always nearby.
Hell yeah.
And then the idea I had is that when an enemy drops below half health and you roll 2 6s, the wolves come and drag them off.
I love it.
Hell
and
yeah.
kill them. So
And turn them into another wolf. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, and then they join the pack.
They joined the pack.
So that was an idea. It's again, some of these I just go.
It's like a Mortal Kombat finishing move. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and some of these I'm like, I know exactly that's really cool. And then some of them you still just kind of have to tinker with, and you're like, I just don't know what I want them to do because I don't want to settle on something and be like, he just does something.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what happens when you start playing too, and you realize that guy is way powerful. Mm-hmm. Well, how can we make the other guys more powerful too?
Yeah.
And it's nice giving abilities that are really, really big but simple. Mm-hmm. Because then as you play and test it, you can see maybe that wasn't as big as I thought, and it can go bigger, or be that is super powerful. Mm-hmm. Let me put some constraints on it and move it somewhere else. But you can see where the benefits are. You can see where all those little mechanics work together well.
Right.
It's a lot easier than getting into the nitty gritty of DPS and scaling over levels and things
and again, that was kind of my after talking to Alex, the philosophy was scaling down and being simple and just giving cool things to do. But okay, now these are kind of the last two classes are kind of more my rogue assassin kind of classes. This one is the Shroud. And one of the things I wanted for the Shroud is you have some type of mask or shroud that conceals you in crowds a little bit or obscures you in shadows. And so there was a mechanic. So the two subclasses for this are Flesh Weaver and Veil Walker. And the Flesh Weaver, I thought of this, and I talked with a buddy of mine about it, and he was like, okay, and he brought up some good points of how that might be fucked up, but
let's hear it.
So the idea of this is that using your mask when you're in battle, you take on the visage of some of the person you're fighting, and every time they do damage to you, cuts open up on them. So you kind of become like a voodoo doll essentially for them, and that was just one idea that I had, which I thought was cool. I think there's other flavored ways to go about that, because I also think the name Flesh Weaver is pretty evocative.
Flesh Weaver is cool.
Yeah.
My first thought was that is what's stopping you from just stabbing yourself then, or whatever.
Sure. Yeah. And again, he brought that point up. And he also brought up the point of what if other people hit you? Does that then do damage to them? And it's these are all great points, because it's all, then you have to think about it.
Yeah. But there is something really nice about that. That's a classic mid-season anime episode. You fight somebody where you attack them and it hurts you, and it's you have to get around that.
Maybe what
that as a mechanic can be.
Maybe an ability could be if you roll a certain number or whatever and you get that ability unlocked, you can just take over their body, but when, and it's all the damage you take is their damage, whatever. And so you could time it right, and you just have them die when you leave their body or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. It sounded less cool when I said it, but in my brain, I was like, this is it. I solved it, man.
Yeah. I mean, again, these are just ideas I'm kicking around, and it might change totally. But the other idea I had for the other subclass, Veil Walker, is it's an assassin or shroud who can essentially teleport, but he does it by he slips through cracks between our world and the Offering Lands. So it's kind of slipping through
Spooky.
Like how Nightcrawler does it.
Right. Kind of like that. Yeah. So And one of the feature I thought of for him, it might be way too overpowered, but I just think it's cool.
Yeah.
Was the idea of he can teleport, grab someone, and pull them through the veil, and then let
Leave
go.
them there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
That's
just
great.
like separate like a limb or something.
Yeah.
But again, that's
Yeah.
also like, well, that seems pretty too powerful. You just stick someone in fucking hell.
You know, but there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think that there's anything wrong with having things that are too powerful, because what you could do is just make them vulnerable in kind, right? It's like maybe he goes there, but it's like if he starts fucking leaving people there, he's attracting the attention of something that's there.
Right.
And so next time he goes or whatever, there's like a fucking one of the god things like waiting for him.
Yeah.
Or there's a role involved in that process that the timing isn't right or something, and
And you could also tie it to like you're saying, stamina strain or resolve, like
Right.
you know, those bigger things that feel good. Like I feel like put those in, make them as big and powerful as like you want, and then see where you want to curtail them.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
That's the classic. Like you add a new hero to like a video game. You make him really powerful,
And then
you
you
can pull
scale
them
them
back.
back. Yeah.
because
Yeah, I
you
mean-
know, find out how much fun they are if they are going off,
Right.
Yeah.
and then keep that fun. But
And the thing is, too,
more
is, like-
mechanical confusion.
And I always think about it like, did you ever play Half-Life 2?
Yeah.
They created the fucking gravity gun as this way to like
Right.
manipulate the game for the developers, and they're like, well, why would we keep this away from the players? Let's fucking give this to the players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you have this mechanic for a guy that's really fun, don't take it away. Make it, fold it in somehow, you know? Give the toys to the players, because the thing is like, I always felt that about Dungeons and Dragons is like, I just felt like they were trying to have a table for how much fun you could have, and you had to roll for it. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
it's like other games. It's like, I think about all the other rules like games that I like a lot, and it's just like, oh, they let me do the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, this character is a flesh weaver, and I get to weave flesh every day.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm playing the ranger and I never get to be a ranger. I'm playing the wizard and I just cast my fucking firebolt cantrip all day and never do anything else. It's
Right.
like, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that was kind of my whole idea going in, was like I didn't want to make a thing where it's like you got to get to level 3 to get your cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
just get the cool stuff
Yeah.
right away, and then maybe you can advance that or get a new cooler feature down the road. I don't know, but I just right away you should be able to do the cool shit that you want to do.
Yeah.
So, and then the last class is a cut purse. So he's just strictly, definitely way more of like a rogue thievish type. His two subclasses are the rat and the viper. And I also want to bake into these kind of like the idea that that's a nickname you earned. Like that's something that you've been called in the underbelly of a city. And like, I also kind of maybe want to bake into that, like your reputation in social circles get kind of a boost. And so this class has a little more to do roleplay wise as well. But yeah, so that's what I have for that. And
What's the difference between rat and viper?
I don't know yet. I think the rat.
Teeth
It's
size.
evocative names, though. You know,
Yeah.
like they're
Yeah.
very evocative. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, viper. Obviously, that's a guy who does alchemy or something, and rat
Right.
is a guy who.
Rat sounds more conniving. Like,
Rat sounds like he's got spring-loaded shit in his sleeves. You know,
Yeah.
what?
Well,
like
and,
fucking cards or something.
and-
Fuck you.
and
that's what you came up with. Springs in the shoes.
Sleeves.
Okay. Wait.
springs in his shoes.
That's what I heard. I don't know.
I'm the rat.
Boy, yo, 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 yo.
Yeah, no wonder you looked at me like I was an idiot. That's stupid.
Everyone's like, does
Maybe
he
I
know
just
the
heard
name
what I
doesn't
wanted
really
to
apply
hear.
to what he's doing? The toad would have been better. Why does he call himself the rat and then spring out of
Rats
combat?
can jump 6 feet vertically. First of all, okay.
No, so
You've been
yeah,
duped by the rat.
you've been tricked.
I was thinking like spring-loaded shit in
Yeah.
your sleeve.
Okay.
Yeah, and it it'll probably be that, but my thing with that one, my initial ideas are like he has secrets. He's conniving. he knows things. And
I swear to God, there better be shoes with springs in them in this game.
key feature, spring shoes. You spring out of combat to safety.
Oh,
You're a rat.
You've been playing GutSTABBER? Did you get the spring boots yet?
Level 1, baby.
Hell yeah, dude. Game doesn't even open up until you get the spring boots.
I have avoided all combat.
You just spring good out of there, man.
It's why they call me the rat.
Are you even stabbing guts, though? I mean, it's in the name. Nah.
Yeah, and the Viper, I was thinking like, alchemy, poisons, that kind of stuff. And one last thing I wanted to go over that I just came up with the other day was the idea of weapons.
Yes.
So I...
Those already exist.
invented
shit!
them,
I didn't. Damn it!
I was thinking of these things.
Uh,
You hold it
call
and you
them
hurt somebody
weapons.
with it.
One of them you can use to, like, puncture somebody's abdomen.
Yeah, abdomen puncture. That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
I came up with giving so every blunt weapon has the crush property, every edge weapon has the slice property, every ranged weapon has the puncture property, and you get to utilize these properties. I said starting out, whenever you roll like a 1 for your damage, if you use a 1 for your damage,
Oh, okay, that's cool.
you get to use one of these. And so the crush for blunt weapons is you reduce the target's armor by 1. Edge for slice, the target suffers bleeding and loses 1 health every turn. And
I love
ranged,
DOTs. I love DOTs.
And the ranged weapons have the puncture. The target's damage is reduced by 1. So those are just kind of quick little things I came up with for weapons.
I love keywords like that. Like,
Yeah.
you can have whatever weapon you want, but here's the keyword that's associated with it, and it
Right.
does this thing.
That's one of the things
I
that like I
always
always
love that.
loved about like the Urban Shadows system was they do this thing where like you have a regular weapon and it does either 1, 2, or 3 damage,
Right.
but it could have all of these cool things like
concealable.
loud, silver, so it hurts fucking
yeah.
werewolves, holy, so it hurts fucking demons.
Demons.
Strain
Yeah.
pasta with it.
But there's like 2
Do they have to be
dozen or-
fucking demons? Like in the
yes,
act?
you can only hurt 2 demons that are fucking. Like
It's a very specific weapon.
demons are at their weakest when they're in the midst of carnal pleasure. Carnal pleasure, that could be the name of the game.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I keep coming back to GutSTABBER
Yeah.
in more ways than one. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah, so it's in terms of like weapons, I didn't want to have to make a whole list of shit.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So
And so with something like that, it lets every person have the cool weapon they want to have.
Yeah, the flavor.
Yeah. It's like, I want to
Yeah.
have this massive sword that I hit people with.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
You
yeah.
have the slice property.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then if you use a 1 for your damage,
It's
you
like, I
can
got this
cause bleeding.
weird, crazy
that
thing
could
I got
be-
from a demon, and like, you
Whatever-
you
yeah,
can
whatever you
describe
want.
whatever you
Yeah.
want.
You could add some more too, and that could be a way to diversify it up because that's the number one thing I always hated about Dungeons and Dragons was like, okay, why wouldn't I use a rapier? Why wouldn't I use a longbow? Why wouldn't I use this thing? Because it's like, and Daggerheart kind of solved that where it's like everything kind of does the same unless you're getting different tiered weapons,
Right.
but they have different abilities, which is cool.
Yeah,
You know, like
there's enough like variation and differences there where
Yeah.
it does feel like, oh, I'm going to pick that because this, it does feel
But
nice.
you're not limited.
when I
It
was-
felt
when I-
It's not
limited in
an
D&D.
obvious option,
yes,
but like, yeah.
D&D, yeah. For Daggerheart, for example, I didn't feel bad. I was like, oh, my guy could just use daggers and I won't feel bad.
Yeah.
And it's like because it's like they do the same amount of damage as the other stuff, but there's
Right.
other things that come with it, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
And so it's like you could have those properties that these weapons have, and you can activate them. But maybe there's some other stuff too that you can just toss in there where it's like, yeah, everybody can have the weapon, the flavor that they want, but you know,
Right. And I mean, that was kind of what I was going for was like, I didn't want to make it to where you felt like, well, I have to take the
Right.
great sword.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I don't know, because technically everything does 2d6. That's all the damage,
right? Oh yeah, I see.
you know? So it's fine. The different properties are different for the different kinds of weapons. So you could have and I didn't want to make it to where like oh, if I roll, if I am like a warrior using a crossbow and I didn't put anything into dex,
Yeah.
it's not really that. Like, you're still gonna get to do your damage. It's like you might get to do like a puncture,
Yeah.
right? If you know,
Yeah.
But then, and that's kind of what I was thinking of when doing this, was like making it that you can customize and use whatever you want, but not so much so where you feel like pigeonholed into anything.
Right.
So, yeah. Anyways, that's really a lot of the stuff that
What about advancement?
that is something I'm just trying to figure out what everyone does at level 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every
And to start.
time you max out your stamina without going over the edge, and you can make it back, then you level up.
Edging is your.
Edging the TTRPG.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
They call this game.
I don't like that.
This game is called The Razor's Edge.
I mean, I like that, but I don't
Whoa.
like that.
Yeah.
Razor's Edge. Oh.
That's a pretty good name.
Yeah.
The big hole that I'm seeing is
Go on.
Yeah.
I know. This is when it goes in the garbage.
No, you're fine.
Like something to deal with skill challenges of some sort. Like,
Yeah.
I want to get on top of that building. Can I? I want to break down this door. I want to, see something in a room. Is that like?
So
Where are you with that?
I was thinking about that, and I was thinking of doing still 3d6, because I like the idea of you don't have to have a bunch of different dice. You just have 3d6, and it kind of works for everything. And 4 skill checks, right? You just utilize your physical, your mental, your perception, and then you add that to your roll. And then I figure out whatever the difficulty is. It'll probably be like a 12, somewhere between a 10 and a 13, because that's kind of median rolls on 3d6. So you just roll your 3d6 and add which of your physical attributes you think, and then you can add resolve depending on situations.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
And is it going to be GM decided what attribute, or are you leaving it up to the player to be able to kind of
I would
sell it?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of selling it.
Kind of like
I
more
like the
Daggerheart
idea of the
than-
player trying to convince me, and also trying to convince me to use resolve
Yeah.
Yeah.
to then be like, I'm determined and I really think I really want to do this, And I can say like, I don't know. I think it's just like you're trying to open a door.
Yeah.
It's not really life or death or something I think you
Yeah.
desperately need. But
Right.
And that's something I never liked about Dungeons & Dragons, was that everything became a skill check. And it's like, well, my guy's been fucking climbing ladders his whole life. All of a sudden I can't climb this ladder?
yeah. And I think, I have it there because you should have it, right? For just skill checks, because that's part of playing a game. But I think also, again, I'm like a big role play theater of the man guy anyways.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot, and in terms of like how I would run the game, and I'm sure I'd have to probably write rules for running the game.
Yeah.
Is like, if it seems pretty reasonable, they can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fucking let
Well,
them
it's
do
like,
it.
yeah, if
you
all
know?
the damage is 2d6, why can't, these seasoned adventurers or whatever spring onto a...
And that's kind of always been what I've thought about like role playing games, is like, let's kind of make sure the skill check somewhat matters.
Yeah.
And it's not tedious.
I keep coming back to the dice pool thing, and I wonder if there's a way to like scenify things where it's like you go into a scene and everybody rolls their dice pool, and then you pluck out the dice like as things are happening. Well, you know what? I rolled a
like
6. I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend this high on this thing that I
Yeah.
want to do.
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
scene.
And then
There is something there for like a group challenge, and
Yeah.
everyone rolls their dice
Yeah.
and kind of like has something to like. I
Like
don't
if
know,
we're in
it's
a
like,
layer
imagine-
scene,
yeah.
okay, everybody
Yeah,
roll
yeah.
up.
imagine you come into a room or whatever, and it's a new scene, so everybody rolls their 3 dice, and oh yeah, I can do that because I rolled this, and blah blah blah, and you might work together. And if you run out of dice, maybe you just take a chink on your stamina and you can roll new dice again or something like that. Or
Yeah.
I don't want to make it like super gamified, but that is like a way to use the dice
I
pool
like it.
more.
You could like match game it where the DM is like, this is a tier 6 challenge, so I'm rolling 6 dice, and you have to like just
Yeah.
like you've got a 1. It's like, I'll take that 1 because I have a 1, and so we get rid of those, and you're left with something, and that might mean something in some sort of rules.
Yeah.
I like it.
Having the simple system like 3d6 and do something with one of them.
Maybe
Yeah,
skill
and
Just the
checks-
mechanics are just so ripe.
Maybe the skill checks turn into more of like a game of Farkle or whatever, where you're trying to make like hands with your dice.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
And it's like
That'd
if
be
you rolled
interesting.
all ones, that's a really good hand in Farkle, right?
Yeah.
Or if you roll ones and fives, those are successes you can hold on to. Maybe for even the next roll or something like that, because that's what you do in Farkle. You hold or you pass or you do whatever.
Yeah. And, and I also...
Me too.
I also like the idea of like...
I was just happy to hear someone else into it.
I like the dice pool and the 3d6, and I even thought of like, well, how do I even like finagle the 3d6 with like the attacks? How do I do that for skill checks? And it was like there's not a entirely 1-to-1 yet, crossover. I'm sure I'll figure it out. I just went with the just 3d6.
That's a great placeholder, and that could be exactly what it is by the end.
And it's simple, and I go,
yeah.
we can reason that out. That's fine.
Yeah.
Feel free to throw this out.
Okay.
Because I know you're not exactly like...
I'm already not sure.
I know you're not exactly like coming to us for solid ideas or whatever. You're kind of spitballing
No,
stuff.
I am coming to you guys for ideas. This is why we're doing this.
Instead of making it a numbers thing, going back to the Farkle, you roll your 3 dice, and if you roll a 1, that's a success, because that's like the best you can roll in a Farkle. If you roll a 5, maybe that's like a partial success.
Okay. Yeah.
On any of those, and there you go. And I don't know, maybe if you want to roll better or whatever, you can hold your 1 and roll. But if you bust without rolling a 1 or a 10 or a 5,
Do you just want to stop recording and
no,
play
I
Farkle?
think this is a great idea. This is an interesting idea.
And here's something that I was thinking, and it was something I was thinking for when you roll for defense. I was thinking of breaking it down into tiers of damage reduction, but I said I'm gonna do away with that.
Yeah.
But it could be for that where you roll a 3d6, right? And like, gosh, how would I do this actually?
An easy way to do it with the rules that you have so far would be like a simple chart that's got like a +2, +1, 0, -1, -2, and you roll and you try and get under whatever your skill is. Like if it's a strength skill and you have a 2, you're trying to get a 1 or a 2. If you get a 4, that's +2, and so like +2 means like bad failure. And then -2, like if you get minus that is like really good. And like it could be Powered by the Apocalypse has 3 different tiers, right? It's like failure, success-ish,
And then
super success.
Yeah.
And so you could have something like that for the skill challenges, depending on how like up and down you are on them.
Okay.
How plus or minus you are from the DC that you're setting.
And again, it could be. I mean, we could still just do 3d6, get the total, but it's tiered in that, to where it's not you're trying to hit a DC check, trying to get a tier
Yeah.
of varying degrees. Of
See, that's
success.
the way it works
Yeah.
with the Farkle. That's the way it
So-
works with the Farkle. If you don't roll a 1 or a 5 on any of your 3 dice, that's a fail.
That's a Farkle.
If you roll a 5 on any of your dice, that's a partial success. And if you roll a 1 on any of your dice, that's a big success.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels weird because it's so far removed from typical tabletop rules, but it just gamifies it in a different way where it's like, it's like you're just trying to succeed, partially succeed or not. You're just seeing what happens. And if you want to take it further, you could take it further with holding dice, re-rolling dice, doing that. Or you just say that this is a failure, partial, or a big success.
Right. Yeah.
And it's weird, and it sounds weird because 1s and 5s have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah.
But but I think your odds of rolling one of those on 3 dice, I mean, that's 2 numbers across 3 dice. That's a number. That's a number. It's 24%, 32%. I don't know.
So okay, so
33%.
maybe what you're thinking is like, because like what I did for the damage reduction initially was like, if you roll a 1 or a 2, you reduce damage by 1. If it's a 3 or 4, you reduce it by 3. If it's a 5 or 6, you reduce it by 6. But maybe it's like 1 through 2 is fail, 3 through 4 is moderate, 5 through 6 is success.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that. I don't know. Again, I'll fuck with this a bunch anyway.
Yeah, that's what definitely
Oh,
keep a
it's
simple
one county.
placeholder and then
And that's
Yeah.
what I have because I'm like
So
I haven't really thought of anything else that really like
Farkle.
struck me.
you could have an injury system where you could have up to 6 injuries, and each injury means one of the numbers 1 through 6 doesn't work for you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, my leg. 2s don't work
So
anymore.
having a 1 would be really bad because that's like some of your abilities are tied to 1s.
Yeah. Like if, like, and depending, like you could even set the numbers like on a little like character sheet.
Yeah,
of you.
that's what I think.
It's like my head is 6 and
anatomical.
my left arm is 1. Or it could even be even different parts of your body.
Sure.
Like,
Has anybody ever
this
played
is
Bushido
this
Blade?
part. This is this part.
And
That's a Bushido Blade.
and you could, if like you roll it in the moment, right? And you're like, oh shoot, I got a 5. I can't use 5s. I will reduce stamina to be able to use the 5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Or like take another injury.
Or take another
Are
injury.
you remembering all this? How are you going to remember all this?
Oh,
I guess we're
also
recording it.
recording.
I'm like, good God, take notes, man.
I know. I'm watching
I'll
him not
just-
take notes. About
I thought about like typing
is
all
this
this
in
out,
front
and
of
then I go,
Oh,
"Wait, we're
shit.
actively recording this." I think it'll be fine.
I've got an audio note.
This will be the most anybody in this podcast has ever listened to the podcast because he's gonna be
Yeah,
like,
I'm
what
gonna
are you
have to
talking about?
meticulously go
Somebody's
through and be like,
listened to this episode 20 times. And
"It was me. It was me. I didn't remember shit."
critical success and failure.
So I was thinking, again, placeholder for now. All 6s on a 3d6 critical success. All
Hell
1s
yeah.
critical failed.
feel
Just a
like
real
all
simple.
solid.
sixes
That's
should
real
be a
cool.
critical failure.
No, because
Not in this setting.
Not in this world.
Yeah, you're right.
The
lands
devil shows
between.
up and is
Yeah.
like, "Hey,
Rhett's a
good guys.
nerd.
Yeah,
Here, let me help."
Let me help you kick these guys right in the pants. I don't curse. I'm the devil. I'm not a real.
Why are you so southern?
I'm not the devil you know.
This is the
Never went
devil that
down to
did that
Georgia.
fiddle contest.
Yeah. That's what I
They
was
call
saying.
me the fiddling devil.
Fiddling devil.
Ah!
I'm
That's
just
the
a
game.
fiddling and diddling.
Fiddling.
That's a different devil.
Wait, what? Oh no.
He really is the devil.
Yeah. So that's what I have right now.
Hell yeah.
For it, just like a real
Okay.
obvious to me was like,
Yeah.
oh, just all 6s, all 1s, and
Those are going to be harder to come by.
Yep. The 3d6 makes things, well, at least if you're doing all 3 tallied up, makes things real swingy.
Yeah.
But yes, yeah, the critical success and critical fails. The reason why I would be fine with that and they're harder to come by, one, it makes them more special when they happen. Because then it goes, oh shit, all 6s, you know, or all 1s.
Yeah, if you in a moment where you need it to happen and you see 3 1s,
Yeah.
you know, like fate is not in it.
It's
for
not
you.
on your
This
side.
was you
Yeah.
could drop down and just
Yeah.
give up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Where
So
it's like, oh no, a natural 1, and I guess this is kind of bad. Like it would feel terrible.
right,
Been
it would feel
stabbed in the
awful.
guts.
Yeah, I've been gut stabbed. So, yeah, that's what I have. I mean, I was gonna ask you guys, like, what do you like when you're coming into like a role playing game for the first time, or you like pick one up? Like, what's something that really like draws you to it in terms of like
The first thing I do always is I look at making a character.
Yep.
character
Character
creation?
I buy.
Character creation and aesthetic, like vibe.
I do
are
like
the
a
two
good
things that I
vibe
think
nowadays. Now that I have money for books, I do care about vibe. Back when I didn't have money for books, it was always like I wanted to go to the character creation, and I would buy books just to have that character creator in my on my shelf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I always think about Heroes, which we tried to play a session or two of. I freaking loved Heroes, and it has some of that system you were kind of talking about, where it's like, this is how you were born, this is how you were raised, this is how you did you go to college, did you not go to college, did you do a technical job, did you not, like, how much money do you have because of this job or whatever, blah blah blah. It's, there's so many different ways to simulate it, and
Yeah.
some do it really in depth and it's fun, some do it a little bit more lighter and it's fun.
And I'll say that, like, I know vibe can be transposed or like to any game system. The system does not necessarily need an aesthetic or whatever. But like with your class names and stuff, you are definitely setting a tone. And so I feel like, that is always intriguing to me,
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff. But also, I'm a sucker for tables. And I kind of like the spell book idea that y'all were tossing around.
That felt
that
fun.
really scratches a lot of itches for me. Like,
yeah.
Like I like loot tables. I like chaotic magic tables and
Let me roll some dice and consult a chart.
Yeah,
and see what
exactly.
happens.
That's why
yeah.
anytime I can put
That
the
is a
wand
bit
of
of
wonders
magic
into
for
a D&D game,
D&D.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's something what I really like about what you've come up with is that vibe, is like the setting that's just behind it. Because for me, when I don't play too often, but when I do, like I look to the system and what it wants me to do, you know, and I try and like be the best like player I can in the game I'm in.
Yeah.
And so like with these, like if I picked up one of those characters and it's like telling me this is what they're about, this is what they like doing, that lets me know how to play the character.
Okay.
Which I enjoy.
And mythology, I'm really interested in.
I know.
That kind of ties into the vibe of
Right.
stuff, but that's always something that I'm always drawn into reading about a game.
Yeah. Yeah. I know you're talking about the pieces of the gods around. I started thinking about like the Heart of Lorcan from Morrowind and like that shit. Yeah, man, I'm intrigued. It sounds really cool. I mean,
I just want to mess around and come up with cool mechanics.
yeah,
That's like the 3d6 just feels so
right.
like, pick numbers and mess around with them. It's like you could
The other thing I still haven't really even like touched or really thought about much, but it's like that thing that's looming over me, like you gotta figure that out, is initiative. I have no really idea of how to do it, because the thing that I keep running into is I go, if the enemies attack first, the players haven't rolled for their defense yet. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
That's why I think like
But and I was thinking of just everyone already has a base armor 1 or 2, so it's like that's fine. You can just reduce it by that, or you take the damage, but on your turn when you roll for your defense, you can reduce that damage you took.
Yeah.
Whatever.
See, I come back to the scene idea or like the rounds idea or the whatever, where it's like battle starts, everybody should roll their dice pool. Maybe it doesn't even necessarily matter who goes first or not. That can be a problem solved later. The battle starts, everybody's dice are out. And then maybe you just go by the person that goes first is the one that has the highest total, or the person that goes first is the one that has the lowest total or something. Because I keep coming back the dice pool. Like anytime you can use it, anytime you can make that a thing. And if you're waiting for your turn to like roll your dice or whatever, I think it'd just be cool if you rolled your dice, you had it, and you could see what's happening, and you could be like, "Oh shit, I got that," and this is gonna come around to me. It's like, okay, I'm gonna burn my 6 and this. Now it's my turn, and blah blah blah, and then it's like goes away from you, and then it's the next round, and everybody rolls their dice again, and maybe somebody rolled a different total, so now it's their turn to go first or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe at the start, just everyone rolls, and then we go one by one, like, okay, so who are you attacking? And then you have your numbers, and you can do your plan or whatever you're going to do. And the enemies I want to already have a base defense that'll just be higher. Yeah. It'll be like starting characters will be like, 3, 4, something like that. And the harder they get, it's a 5, 6.
Yeah.
So and so.
And you could even do that just for like all of their rolls in general, because it's like it does get to a certain point where it's like I'm talking about who's going first is who has the highest total shown, and if there's a bunch of enemies, that's going to get complicated,
Yeah.
So maybe enemies just become kind of like a generic thing, or maybe you roll for them as like a mob instead or something.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Some of the things you could do it like Daggerheart does it, which has been enjoyable. But something a little simpler could be a player goes, an enemy goes, a player goes, an enemy goes.
Yeah.
It could just be back and forth like that, which is
that. I don't know if that would be tedious or not.
That simplifies things.
Right.
And you can get around with some of the more complicated stuff with like, if you're just kind of assuming with encounter building that you're like having a baddie for each player, like specifically, because you could then tie it to your number of players in the game, and then you could have things like hordes or minions being like, well, this acts as a horde, so it's taking its turn as one, even though it's like 10 things. Or like a solo monster would be like a big, you're fighting a dragon, and so it's like a player goes, the dragon goes, player goes, the dragon goes, and they're just big, and you could fix a lot of it with some subtype mechanics for monsters.
And the thing I like about Daggerheart and Powered by the Apocalypse, there is no initiative and there is no turns. I like that personally.
There's something about the no initiative it's fitting with that design, the design philosophy you're talking about.
Right. And I really kind of I'm torn between just no initiative and just doing 1-to-1,
Yeah.
back and forth.
Yeah.
So
There's something I like about that because of like the dice and the
yes, it
defense
feels,
dice.
Yeah.
There's something nice about that.
There's something that feels immediately back and forth about the dice anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's still just thinking of these things.
Yeah.
Or you could do it that like it stays one side's turn until like they spend a certain number of dice or something like
that.
If they spend a 1 for an ability, well, they get to use that cool ability, but now it's the other team's turn.
Yeah.
But then you run the risk of like, well, what if nobody rolls that number? I was like, well, I guess maybe you get to go a second round or something. I don't know. Could be a benefit there.
Yeah. And, again, all ideas are welcome because, again, I'm one guy doing this and I have no clue what I'm doing. So
I was just going to the bathroom, so I didn't hear anything you just said. But
I was talking about how
you,
I hadn't really figured out how to do
initiative.
Okay.
Initiative.
He's talking about initiative ideas.
Interesting. Because whatever I just walked in on, that tail end thing.
About like if you spend a thing to do an ability, then it bounces to the other team.
Oh, okay.
Or what did I say? What did you hear?
Well, so what I walked in on made me think of maybe there are challenges or skill checks or whatever where the group has to at least have 3 6s among the group in order to succeed at a thing or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
There is something very tantalizing about the group of players using their dice together.
Yeah.
To accomplish
Right.
something big. Like
we
everyone
all worked
rolling their
together
dice
in
and it's like,
unison.
what can we get out of
timed it
these
right.
dice? There's something, I don't know what it is, but there's something neat there.
Maybe it's like, again, that it comes back to the scene starts, everybody rolls their dice, and when it's our turn, maybe if we have 2 matching dice, I rolled a 3 and a 5, you rolled a 3 and a 5, we could spend those to do a thing, but you have to have 2 matching dice, not just
What
one.
if there's 6 initiative turns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so you roll your dice and like you pick which one you want to be in.
Oh, interesting.
And it's like maybe the DM decides first, like this is where these groups are. They're in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. And like when those things happen, then like it's just kind of decided how things go.
Yeah,
in the
interesting.
moment. Because you could like kind of plan a little bit that way. It's like we want to go together, but it's like
4.
we're like 2 is what we have to go together.
Right.
And there's
okay.
like baddies at 6, but that's going to be beneficial. Or I don't want to go when this enemy goes.
That could be kind of interesting.
There's something.
So you can kind of like defer if you needed to.
Yeah,
Or like not
you get the
defer.
players can then kind of set their initiative and choose when they're wanting to go, and you could have to add some mechanics in there somewhere, give some rangers,
Yeah, I like
abilities,
that,
things like that.
idea of like, or what if it's like, everyone rolls their 3d6, and I guess depending on what they roll, like maybe there's only 3 groups. There's 1 through 2, 3 through 4, or 5 or 6.
True.
And then so we could go in each group, and then in between the enemies are going, or if everyone's going in group 2 and 3, the enemies go in group 1, or if everyone's going in group 1, that means the enemies go in the next.
Right.
Yeah,
But everyone gets to go in the first round, and the enemies do not get to attack during this round. So we get to go around the horn, for this one group. But
Here's a
there's
super
different-
fucked up
there's
idea.
something there.
there's something there for sure. It's not quite sticking yet, but yeah, there's something there.
Here's a super fucked up idea. Team rolls their dice, and maybe this doesn't apply to every fight, but maybe like a boss fight, right? We're playing fucking Elden Rings here, and now we gotta coordinate our combos, and so everybody rolls their dice, and the boss has like a certain number, and let's see, so 6,
Like a combination.
so you can roll 18? You can roll an 18 total, or so. Yeah. maybe the boss has a certain number, and now we each have to pick one dice of ours to get the closest to that number. You know.
Wait.
So it's like, let's say if the boss is 18, that's like, we'd all have to, and there's 3 of us fighting him. We'd roll our dice, and fuck, I only have a 5, so I'd put down my 5. You'd put down whatever you have, because we're trying to get the closest to 18 that we can
Oh, I know
to
what you're
do
saying.
damage to it. And it's like, okay, if I put a 5 and you put a 5 and you put a 4, you know, that's 14. We were close, so we only did, you know, however much damage instead of, you know, but if we did an 18, then we do the most amount of damage or something, you know.
God mode would be like if, let's say we had 3 players, so 3d6. So how many dice is that? 9. So there's a 9-digit number associated with the big baddie.
Jesus.
If you happened to get it, you can one-shot it.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Or
Like
learning
literal
the
God
demon's
mode.
true
Like,
name.
Yeah, exactly.
Or there's a 9-digit
like,
baddie.
obviously, that's not going to be a big component in the battle or the
sounds like you're
game.
playing the
but, like,
Powerball.
In the
Yeah.
odd
Yeah.
chance that you get it.
Or there's a 9-digit baddie, and when you roll a dice,
That's what I'm gonna
you
call
can
the game.
assign your
9-digit
dice.
There you go. Yeah.
It's a phone number.
If it's got a bunch of digits or whatever, you can assign your dice. Like, oh, I rolled a 3, that can go in the 3 slot or whatever. And then that dice is gone, and you keep fighting, and it gets harder because you have fewer dice.
yeah.
But that you got to line up all the dice slots.
So you say like on your turn or something, you roll your dice.
feel
And
like
it's
I
like you
saw
can
this on
pick 2 for
Price is
damage,
Right.
you can pick 1 for defense, but you're gonna like choose one of those
Yeah.
to like slot in.
Yeah,
somewhere.
to slot in, exactly.
You could have some sort of like ritual circle like on the
yeah,
map that's
that's-
happening, and it's
yeah.
like draining your power as
Yeah.
you're doing
Yeah.
it. But like that's
Let's
how you
hold on,
seal
just hold
like an
on.
area. That's how you
need
seal a
one
boss
more.
encounter or something.
Or it's like, one of the spells or something that the magic people have is a series of numbers, and throughout the battle, players can offer those numbers
Ooh,
to
yeah.
slot in
Yes.
to unlock the
Yes.
spell.
Like we
Yes.
sacrifice,
And that's
so they can do
teamwork.
that thing.
Yeah.
That's cool
Yeah.
as shit. And like, and maybe it's like one of those things where it's like the spell is building up, and it's like, well, okay, fuck, I rolled the number that we need this time. So you give it in, but it takes a couple rounds for you to get that dice back because everybody's still trying to find the other numbers or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Or you just don't get it back until they can spend.
Well, right.
their
So you
spell.
put it in, and then they're
Yeah.
waiting for the spell to be charged up
Yeah, yeah.
because they still need the other 2 numbers.
And you like can't quite get that final number.
Yeah.
And it's
Do you keep
gives you
getting- what if
tension
you
among the whole.
Give all 3 of yours because you're the only one rolling the right numbers.
Maybe that's what it takes.
Yeah,
You
that's
could,
what I'm saying.
and then that
that's
you
cool.
basically give up all your attack and all your defense
Yeah.
for that turn.
Yeah.
But it's like
But
we're
you're
going to
trying
power
to
this
power-
spell.
You
Yeah.
understand why? Like you
Yeah.
know you're going to get
If
this
we
out of
can
it,
do
and it's
that.
like narratively, mechanically, those 2 things are married.
Yeah,
And it's
Like-
mwah.
Yeah.
and maybe
see-
the efficacy of the spell will determine how many digits you need. You know, like an easy one. I just need 3 numbers, or this.
I
spell is
I
super
need
powerful,
any
so I need
even number.
5
I
or
need
6
Oh
numbers.
yeah, there's so much cool shit to do
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
See, and I keep just coming back. I'm like, how can we make spending dice a thing? You know? So
Yeah.
I just love the idea. It's like, if you're gonna play the game,
Especially
this is
when
the
they're
game,
your precious
right?
resource. Like
And it's not just about I roll big number, good,
No.
ape together strong. No, it's,
it's
like
specific number.
yeah, there's
I dig
something
it.
there.
Ow,
Oh shit!
662.
Yeah, and I mean, like, one of the defensive maneuvers I have for the Oathbound is if you use 2 1s for your offensive attack, you don't do any damage this round, but you negate all damage from the next attack.
Cool.
So it's like it's called like parry. So basically, instead of like attacking, you take a defensive stat. And I like the idea of those, of the like
Yeah.
certain numbers are unlocking these abilities.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
like
it
it.
gives you choices to be like, especially in that moment, if you like, oh, I rolled 2 1s, I could still try but I rolled like a 1, and a 6. I could do 7 damage and do 1 defense, or I could use the 2 1s and just kind of null and void.
Yeah.
That's fine, you know.
yeah,
And it offloads a lot of the complex rules from like a main kind of like you need to know all of this
Yeah,
stuff
like a
to
big
know how to
stack
play.
to, like-
where it's like this is my thing that my character does.
Yeah, it's like-
Only I need to know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that's cool. And then it also becomes a little bit more like a flow chart too, rather than like, well, I've got this list of things I could do and like, oh, I just don't know what to do. It's like, well, roll your fucking dice and see what happens first and then choose.
And then you get to decide.
Yeah. So, is there anything else anyone has any questions about? Yeah, I have a list of... Hold on. Let me actually look and see how many
I can see your list. There are 2, white and black.
Okay.
Yes.
Good job, Dash.
Wow.
I gotta go
What
pee.
a dash hole.
You guys figure it out? Okay, I shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have told you that one. Yeah, I can go through I call them ancestries because...
Why make it about race?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so yeah, I can go through these if you guys want.
Mm-hmm.
So the generic human, they're called a Norin because I didn't want to say human.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you could make any kind of human you want. There you go.
Cool.
Just because I want to just do that and be done with it, and I don't want to try and
It's the
complicate
easy
that more.
yeah. In every game, you've got your generic.
You
person.
gotta have a generic guy.
Yep.
Okay. And then this one is the Ishen. They were people created by the god Mogra, and they have green skin and some kind of animalistic feature to them. They often live in the wilderness or in nature of some kind. But they can live anywhere they want. It's your character.
That's cool.
The Sindarin, they're like a hardy warrior-like people with kind of grayish white skin, crimson eyes. Really inspired by the Kunari with this people. They've made their fortresses in the mountains, kind of built them into them like the mountain tops.
Hell yeah.
Korthan, they're like seafaring people with kind of like darker brown, black skin, and they all have violet eyes. And that's part of their system is like it's cooler to have like lighter violet eyes, So there's kind of a system in there, like a political thing there. The Valorn, they're descendants, right? I've talked about them.
Yeah.
Which, as a character, you obviously you're not going to be godlike in any way, but what I would want for their ancestry is basically like they have kind of like whited out eyes, so they're kind of like blind, but they see through the fabric of magic in the world. So that's how they sense and feel things in the world.
More kind of removed perception.
Yeah, just because of their heritage and their ancestry, they're just a little different than mortals.
Cool.
And then the Nezara, they're people who have come back from the offering lands. Their bodies are not fully formed, so they're kind of like fragmented, not quite undead, but they're kind of fragmented people. And there was a mechanic I thought about doing where if you have more than one Nezara, they form more their bodies because their connection with each other makes them form together a little bit. Like their bodies start to become like complete more.
As they are together, but when they're leave,
close,
do they then kind of deform again?
Deforms a little bit.
Okay.
They're just disconnected.
Cool.
And the last one,
that could do some fun stuff story wise.
Like, yeah. And then the last one is the Undil. They're like hardy kind of mountain people as well. And they have heavy bone-like formations on their foreheads and kind of cloven hooves.
Like you, right?
So they're kind of goat-like, I guess, but humanoid definitely. So yeah, those are kind of the different ones that I've come up with. I might come up with more, but
those are all cool. I
figured those could be fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
Very evocative.
Yeah.
Very much. Yeah. Each one has got their own kind of distinct style to them.
Yeah.
Which I enjoy.
Yeah. And when you're coming up with like a people, you don't want to like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
There's a lot of pitfalls. There's a lot of
pitfalls when you're doing this, and you want to be like
a lot of ways to get canceled.
ways to really get that game
Yeah.
not off the ground.
A lot of the language that we use to talk about like different people and races and stuff like that. You understand a lot more when you're building those things up. And it's like, oh yeah, we talk about people weird.
Yeah, we do.
And so it's just you just identify that as you're going along.
It's kind of like when Tolkien got done with the dwarves, and people are like, "This is kind of anti-Semitic," and he's like, "Shit, you're right. I got to redo this." So he made the dwarves less
less
that-
rat.
less
anti-Semitically
anti-Semitic, yeah.
portrayed.
But like if you're in a world where that's just kind of the water and you just don't see it, like that's the how that slips out. And so
Yeah.
you always
That's why reading books is good. Like reading sci-fi and fantasy where they talk about biology in a different way than you are used to.
right.
You know what I mean? Like
That's why
explaining-
watching Star Trek: The Next Generation is really important.
I agree.
yeah.
I endorse
It
this
is, yeah.
message.
It's
Yeah.
Gotta watch
philosophy.
the
Because-
Ligars and the Tigars. You know,
Exactly.
they got the white on the left side and not on the right side. It's messed up, man.
I'm here to tell you that the cone nipple people are the best.
Yeah.
Whatever that Rick and Morty episode was. No, square nipples all the way.
Yeah, so I mean that's really all I had. Again, if you guys have any questions, cool. But I mean that's everything that I have so far, and I think
That's cool.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I'm
cool.
excited
Yeah.
to try it once.
Are you any
get it
closer to
kinda-
a name now?
I've had one name
Let's
that
hear it.
I've bounced around, and I'm still not totally sold on it. That's why I'm like it's nameless right now. But the one idea I had was
the nameless.
That's a fucking name right
the
there.
nameless, yeah, was Light the Lanterns. But I'm not really
Oh,
sure if that does totally what I want, because I think Lantern isn't quite the name I need, if that makes sense. If I could call it anything, but it's already a game, Torchbearer would be awesome.
Well, it's funny
that's
because
a
you went
cool
Light the
name.
Lanterns, and I immediately, my mind was like, oh, that kind of reminds me of like Torchlight, you know, the old Diablo
Yeah,
clone, like-
yeah. So I don't know. I'm not totally
Ashen
sold on that.
Ones, Dark Souls,
Oh,
Elden
they were-
Ring.
Yeah. Oh, Elden Ring.
Yeah, it might be
I'm gonna call it
good.
Elden Ring.
I mean, you know, and you could like rip, like, because I was getting like a Dark Souls vibe. It's like you could rip like, kind of from that without going like IP theft and be like, this is like Beyond the Fog or something like that. The Land
Sure.
Between,
Or
you know,
or lean into the IP thing and just get them to pay you lots of money to make
Yeah.
this game under their IP.
yeah, but then
They
you
got
can't
George R. R.
have-
Martin to do Elden Ring.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I think you might be next.
Yeah.
But then you can't have Flesh Weaver and Ragman. It's going to have to be, you know,
One of their things.
one of theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like cool, but also
Money.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I weirdly I never thought I would, but I'm really enjoying the process.
Hell yeah.
It's actually like really fun to me. I get excited about going and getting on my laptop and like coming up with just weird shit.
yeah.
So, I mean, who knows how it'll play? I don't know, but
I hope we'll find out.
That's the thing, man.
Yeah.
Even Gary Gygax, like, they workshopped it. You know, you come up with it, you play it, see how it worked, and then your buddies go, nah, or yeah, and then
Sure.
you keep workshopping it.
yeah.
Nothing,
and,
nothing springs out of a vacuum. You know, you gotta. roll
Yeah,
the
and
dice a
that's
few
that's
times.
why I was like, when you said like, oh hey, would you want to do this? I was really hesitant. I was like, I'm gonna tell people about this game. I'm gonna hide this forever. And then I was like, no, I should probably. Otherwise it'll be like so many other projects you start or I start.
Now you've got commitment, like skin in the game. People out there are aware of it.
They're gonna write letters.
Not to make you more nervous, but
They're gonna write letters and be like, "Where's
So where's that
GutSTABBER?
game?
Come on,
Where's GutStabber?
There's gonna always be a contingent
Where's
of
fiddling
people.
and diddling?
No, those are the two orc companions. We'll get right away.
Those are my
Yeah,
first
yeah.
two characters in the system.
Yeah, fiddling and diddling.
They're
Yeah,
fiddling
you know,
and diddling. His son.
it's like everybody. You always have like Biggs and Wedge in the Final Fantasy games, whatever. This one is fiddling and diddling.
But yeah. Anyways, that's all I had.
cheers to that, man.
So
Oh, yeah.
You're here.
I'm excited, and if you guys don't have anything else, I guess we'll take us out.
Sure.
Cool. All right. Thank you for joining us around our proverbial podcast table. I've been your game guy. I don't know.
That's the official title.
Game guy?
for the
Oh,
read.
redo
gosh.
that one. I've been the guy
Uh,
stabbing you in the guts.
I've been GutStabber.
been your
My name is
GutStabber.
Dash.
I've
With me is.
Caleb.
Rat.
Alex.
Thank you so much. Grab your swords and keep on adventuring.
Thanks for dropping by, friend. In the meantime, you can also leave our bartenders and troopers a tip over at patreon.com/in@the-end. We hope to see you here next week. Until then, grab your sword and keep on adventuring.